Hello, Heroes of Ascension. Are you struggling in Manastorms? Are you wanting to get to higher levels for that sweet loot? Well, fear not, I'm Monkey, and here's an entry-level Manastorm build to get you started. And then, later, I'll show you an updated version. First things first, you need to hit level 60. This is because we require 4 skill cards for the entry level of this build. Our first skill card is Flame Burst, which you can get from Silas Darkmoon. It can be found via the Darkmoon prizes skill cards, and if you select on Mage on page 4 for 1000 Darkmoon tickets. You might be asking, but Monkey, I don't have any Darkmoon tickets. And that's okay, because I know how to get them easily. We'll need to get some Marks of Ascension to buy some skill card packs. Simply go to a call board in your local city. The easiest ones to do are PvE, and sometimes the professional ones, depending on what they are. Once you've got a decent amount, head over to Silas Darkmoon and buy Scrolls of Fortune. These scrolls we're not bothering about, but we are about those skill cards. Open them up, and if you're lucky, you might get Flame Burst for free. But don't worry about it, because if you don't get it, we're going to be getting our Darkmoon tickets from this. Darkmoon tickets are gained when you have a duplicate card already unlocked. So, if you're new to the game, this could take a while to do. If you weren't able to get the skill card in your packs or haven't got the tickets to purchase, just repeat the dailies until you can. There are 3 legend talents needed for the entry level of this build. But Monkey, won't legendary skills be difficult to get? Well, some skill cards, you're completely correct. However, I know some of you don't, and these skill cards are legendarily easy to get. See what I did there? The first on our list is Seething Flames. Head over to the north of Black Rock Mountain in Searing Gorge. Just before the slope, head left until you see a lava flowing down the mountain, and then follow the trail to its highest point until you see a pool of lava. You'll see a fire orb hovering above. Click on the orb, and bingo banjo, you have Seething Flames. Next on our list is Next on our list is Amalfraud's Malediction. I know I've said it wrong, but we're moving onwards. This can be found from Death Singers in the Eastern Plaguelands. You can find them in these locations, but if you head north from Light's Hope, there's a few from there. And then you can continue with the path north, and there's even more in this location. Now, it might take you a while for this to drop. Some people said it can take over 100. I myself got it in 8 tries, but with some luck and RNG, Jesus, it might be in your favor and you can get it before you know it. The third and final talent is Stormbringer. This has a 100% drop rate from the Electrocutioner 6000 in Nomagan. If you're running with some randoms, there's a possibility that they might need on this card if they haven't got it already, and therefore means that you've got to run this a couple more times. However, if you do link up with some gillies, they might be kind enough to run it through with you so that you can unlock this skill card. Now, before we end up prestiging, there are some things that I'd like to mention about the build I use in case you decide that you want to go through this route. For my build, I use Flame Tongue Weapon, Fell Strike, and Unbound Drain Life. You can get Flame Tongue Weapon from the Shaman page 4, and Unbound Drain Life from the Warlock page 5 from Silas Darkmoon for 1000 tickets each. However, it depends on how much time you want to get these before trying to enter into the entry level of the build. But again, these are not required unless you want to go for my build. Do your prestige, and then we have to select our level 1 starting abilities. For this, we're going for Doc, Apophis, Immolate, Moonfire, and Charge. Once rolled, delete them out and add in Flame Burst. If you haven't got the abilities I use from my build, then focus on either Instant Cast, Buff, or you could go for something like Blink or Disengage to make a quick escape if needed. Next, we'll need to add the 3 legendary talents we got earlier, and this is the setup for the Demonic Wrath at entry level. If you're new to the game, it's possible you might not have many golden skill cards to pull from to help you with this build. However, even if your pool of cards is limited, just go with what might seem useful until you get a working set to help support the build. The ones I recommend on your talents is Unbound Death Healer to provide heals from your ability, Lunar Guidance to increase your critical and spell damage, and Mental Strength for an increase to intellect, critical strike chance and reduction to magic damage. If by chance you get any of the 3 legendary talents as golden, then you could switch them out to add in something else that might help your build. I just want to point out that there is some honorable mentions with this in case you are able to get your hands on them. These are Purification by Light, Shadow Flame Claws, and Demonic Hide. These are very useful abilities for the type of spec that we're going into. However, play around with them and you never know, you might get lucky if you roll something else. Or you could just get them as rolls when you're leveling. Now comes the fun part. So for this, we're going to need to use cloth, or at a push, plate, and focusing on items that give spell power. Our primary stat is going to be intellect for this build. With the Dark Apophis, we're able to draw from demonic energies to transform into a powerful demon. While in this form, we increase our maximum HP by 25%. Our armor contribution from cloth items is increased by 250%. As you can see, this is why we want to go cloth. And our dodge rating by 25% of our spell power, and increases all resistance types. In exchange of this power, our damage and healing is reduced by 30%. Now, this seems like a lot, but honestly, with the Dark Apophis, I don't really see this being that bad, and it seems to be a fair trade-off in my eyes. Now, you do get a taunt and a melee attack called Demon Claws. Demonic Claws is a great ability that uses rage, and therefore a good filler, so we don't draw too much from our mana pool, which we're going to need for our other spells. Immolate changes to an instant cast ability while Dark Apophis is active. It still applies a dot on the target as before, but our demon form gains an aura that deals damage to surrounding enemies over time. For this reason, you want to try and keep this up while in battle. Moonfire is going to be used to pull enemies to us while Immolate is on cooldown, and does also act as a decent damaging spell. Charge is our gap filler. You get 2 charges on this ability, and can be a great way to escape from danger if too many enemies are surrounding you. However, you would need an enemy that is away from you in order to use this correctly. Once you hit level 10 to lock in your starting abilities, we'll get our Flame Burst and Seething Flames straight off the bat. Now, you have 2 choices. Complete quests until you've unlocked all 3 of the talents, or jump straight into Manastorms. I personally prefer the first option, as those talents help with damage output, and it will stack with the amount of AoE damage we're doing. In terms of rotation, there really isn't one. You have to adapt to the situation. Flame Burst is a great AoE spell, and one where you can choose where to place it. However, if you use the following macro instead, it'll cast Flame Burst where your cursor location is, saving you those precious moments to get in some extra damage. Flame Tongue Weapon will boost your spell power, something you should keep up every 2 hours, and Fell Strike deals some amazing damage to your target and 2 other enemies. But Monkey, why Unbound Drain Life? Wouldn't high damage abilities be better? Oh, hero. Maybe. And this can come down to you and your skills, but I find it's a great way to pull you back from the brink of death. Unbound Drain Life targets up to 5 enemies in front of you and heals you for each target per second for 5 seconds. This is huge, and more so when you have other talents that actually do boost your drain life. Depending on the situation, I've gone from near death to full HP. Mainly I use Unbound Drain Life while my Manastorm potion is on cooldown. As soon as the channeling has ended, I'll either blink, charge, or anything to get away from the horde of enemies in front of me, and then quickly pop my Manastorm potion. This combo has allowed me to survive situations that seem impossible to get out of, and then turn them possible. Remember, heroes, don't get too hung up on one build. Even with this one, it's very possible that the next build you try might roll in your favor and take you to new heights. I'm Monkey, and if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment below, or even subscribe, as I hope to produce more content like this in the near future. The written guide of this can be found on the Ascension database in the description below. Until next time, I'll catch you later.